Hello, good people of YouTube, and look at this matchmaking, why don't we? Alright, so this is a match I had earlier today. I just, woke up, had some breakfast, and decided, let's go ahead, let's take the Odin out for a quick spin. Now, granted, this is, of course, earlier in the morning. It's around, I think, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. But, man, this matchmaking... I don't know why this is allowed. I mean, first off, double CV game with 9 players in the match. So, well, 9 players per side. So 18 players overall. 4 of them are CVs. And not only are 4 of them CVs, but also look at how the game distributed the ships as well. We got a Kaga and a Chikolov. 2 of, dare I say, the best CVs at Tier 8. Enemy team got a Lexington, which is a pretty strong CV from my understanding, but then an Implacable, which is one of the worst CVs. Now, I understand that the matchmaking doesn't really take into effect, the stats of said ship, but I mean, really? And I'm in the Odin, which is one of the absolute worst ships to be in this situation. The Odin is, for those of you that don't know, this was the first dockyard ship that we had after the Puerto Rico dockyard, after the big Puerto Rico fiasco that happened with that dockyard. This is the first return of the dockyard ship, shall we say. And it's a good ship. It's a pretty divisive ship, shall I say. You either love it or you hate it. I'm one that loves it. If you look at her health, she has 52,800 HP, which is really low for a Tier 8 battleship. However, her armor scheme is very, very, very good. She has a wraparound icebreaker bow and a wraparound icebreaker stern. You're not overmatching the Odin with 18-inch guns unless you get very lucky with your shot placements from the bow on. At least there's a very thin strip of 32 on the bow and a very thin strip of 32 on the stern. And again, unless you have some god RNG or get a lucky shot here and there, you're not overmatching this ship. Her side armor is also nice and thick as well. Very good armor in this ship all the way around. And that's where she gets her tankiness from, not from her HP pool. Which means against AP, the ship is exceptionally well protected. But against HE, because of her lower HP for a Tier 8 battleship, she's very vulnerable to damage over time. And what main type of damage do these CVs that we have in match currently dish out a lot of? Damage over time. Implacable with her HE carpet bombers, the Lexington with her HE dive bombers, of course the torpedoes with those 2 as well, and the rocket planes of both ships as well too. So yeah, this is going to be a fun match for me, ladies and gents. And not to mention too, the Odin doesn't have the best AA ever. I mean, no German battleship really does, unless we're talking about the Mecklenburg. Yeah, I just wanted to have a couple of mid-morning matches, maybe get into some nice brawls, but yep, not happening here at this first match with Matchmaker. Now, Matchmaker, the way it works, it is supposedly unlimited now. There used to be a 5-minute hard limit where it would kind of just dump everyone that it had in queue into matches. That limit was supposedly removed, but you still get matches like this every now and then that are reminiscent of those 5-minute dump matches, which tends to indicate there is still some type of perhaps soft 5-minute time limit where it will start to just dump whatever it has into these types of matches. Now, oddly enough, this isn't the wonkiest of these types of sub 12v12 games that I've had in the past. I've had a couple of wonkier ones, but it had been a while since I'd seen something like this. And I'm someone that during the summer, I play at very weird hours, either very late into the night or very early in the morning, because, well, I'm a teacher, I have time off in the summer, and, my days are very, very distorted during the summer. But, yeah, it's been a while since we had one of these wonky matches, and here we are. So what's going on in the match right now? Well, we did manage to pick up that enemy Benson right there. Our mains pushed out. I didn't see exactly who got him, but I suspect it was our mites that did that. Speaking of mites, the enemy team gets 2 mites Bs. We get 1 mites B, which, well, okay. Mites is one of the stronger tier 8 cruisers. In my mind, it's a mix of light and heavy cruiser, and they get 2 of them in a CV game. The Mainz has pretty decent AA. So it's like, okay, well, we get the Chikhalov and the Kaga, and they get the 2 Mainz. It's okay, you can shoot down all the planes you want with the Kaga. You're not going to run it out of planes at all. There's a match where I was in a Gneisenau, and it was another double CV game, but the Kaga mostly went after me, and I shot down, just with my Gneisenau, something like 80 planes, and the dude just kept throwing planes at me. Yeah. So, our Mainz is unfortunately getting burned down kind of fast. Ooh, I love the horn on the Odin. It has a nice manly horn. Getting burned down very fast here, thanks to the enemy Mainz out there. I'm also trying to get some shots out at him, but again, Odin, German battleship, doesn't have the best dispersion. It's fine when you're like 12 kilometers in, but these 13, 14, 15 kilometer out shots, you're not hitting anything. Which is why I've switched over to HE, because with the AP, with the caliber of the Odin's guns, not going to really be overmatching much either. So I swapped over to the HE, and basically, you play the Odin as a cruiser, really, is how you play the Odin. You keep HE loaded most of the time. You switch to AP when you think you're about to get into some close-in situations, like here with this mass speed that we're pushing around the corner to get in its face. But our Benson and our Mass are also doing that. Our Benson's very low, and in fact so low he is now in fact dead. And here come the planes again. The Implacable, his planes look fairly low, trying to focus him down with my AA sector. Get one of his planes down that I think he effed out there, so I think he saved 2 of those planes. We're both 2 ships down. We have managed to secure both of their DDs, which is very good. Our DDs, well, we got their master too. Our DD is still up. Our, what is it? Yes, our Kunenberti is still up. We managed to take out that mass. And the thing is too, since the Odin's AA is so, well, miserable, I'm trying to find someone to stick around. The 2 out here, or, well, dead now. And I just have this mass, which does have a very good AA, but he's been in HE for the past 2 minutes from the enemy Mainz. So, even though his AA has probably been shredded a bit right now, it's all we got, and we have to overlap our AA if we even want a chance against these 2 CVs over here. So Lexington and Implacable, they're coming after us now. They are dropping fighters on the Mainz to try and keep the Chikhalov from striking him. Chikhalov is great at dealing with cruisers with those skip bombers. Chikhalov is, again, one of the best tier 8 CVs currently. Here comes the Implacable planes. I get my priority AA sector set, and, well, even though we do shoot down a few of his planes, as you can see, he still gets a full launch off. Lexington coming in too, and you see, again, we are getting his plane shot down, but still, he gets a full attack wing off. I turn my ship hard over, and again, thanks to the thickness of the Odin's armor, I only need about 2,000 damage there. It was a more lightly armored battleship. It would have been much more substantial. One thing the Odin has going for it too is that it doesn't really have as much superstructure as other German battleships, thankfully. Now, don't get me wrong, it still has a decent bit, but if you look at like the FDG and the GK and the Bismarck, there's a ton of superstructure there. The Odin, thankfully, is on the thinner side comparative to other German battleships. Here comes the Lexington and the Implacable again. I get my catapult fighter out. Another good thing about the Odin is that it has literally everything that the German battleships have bolted onto it. Hydro, catapult fighter, torpedoes, good secondaries, good armor. So it does have that going for it as well. And I'm just, I've got an AA buddy, and I'm just going wherever this guy's going. Now, thankfully, Kunenberti is getting in the cap, which is starting to stall the points. Oh, yeah, this is standard battle, too, by the way. We got this on freaking standard battle, which is one of the most stagnant game modes in the game. Double CV, 909 game, standard battle. What else is going to happen, What else could happen? Thankfully, there's no submarines. If there's like 2 submarines, that would have been like the icing on the cake for this match. But that did not happen, thankfully. Lexington coming in again. And do note that he still has full squadrons at this point, 10 minutes into the match, where he's mostly going after the Mass over here, which is a pretty decent AA battleship. Trying to avoid these torpedoes, managed to only eat one, that's fine. Unfortunately, I did have to turn right into the Mass for that, and here comes more planes! Because who doesn't love planes at this point, you know? And they are still dropping on... Oof, get a fire there. Still dropping on myself and the Mass. And let's see, yep, good old Odin dispersion there. Do manage to break one of his turrets somehow, even though I apparently didn't hit his turret. That's a cool game. Now, thankfully, the Kaga is absolutely just kicking the Lexington to death. Because, again, Kaga, what are you going to do? Shoot down all of its planes? It's not going to happen. And again, look at this. This is beautiful Odin dispersion. Perfectly bracket the mites right there. Gotta love it. Lexington vibe checks are Bertie there to death. Because, well, that's what American HE dive bombers do. And at this point, I've shot down 14 planes. One shot down by my very useful fighter planes. And I believe the Mass is... He wound up with something like, I think, 20 planes or 15 planes shot down as well. So, yeah. I cannot wait for the AA changes. At this point, we are up on kills. The enemy team is down 4 ships. We're down 3 ships. All the DDs are dead. They have taken out one of our cruisers. We've taken out one of their cruisers and one of their Masses. Oh, well, there goes the other Mass right now, too. So, at this point, I'm just focusing on this mites because my thought process here is this. I can dodge the CV ordnance fairly well in Odin. Odin's a very maneuverable battleship. So I'm thinking in order to ensure my survivability, we need to get this mites down. Because, you know, it's a lot harder to dodge shells than it is to dodge ordnance. And if we get him down, then I can just, you know, play with SAD and survive for a lot longer down here than with, you know, just dealing with all 3 of these ships. But then I see the Lexington pop up. He's down to like 9k health. I'm like, perfect. Cool, let's get him down as fast as we can. That way, you know, that's one less CV to deal with. But unfortunately, he goes undetected there. The dog says hi, by the way. Implacable coming in again to, well, get my barbecue going. And again, even though Odin is very maneuverable, well, we managed to dodge most of that. We still need a little bit. And over here, I'm just, you know, throwing my rudder from one side to the other, trying to throw these shots off, trying to mess up their alignment. And Lexington down to 2,500 HP. Get one salvo out toward him. The Chiklovol is also diving on him as well. And survey says... not good enough, but thankfully, again, we have Russian bias on our side, so the Chiklov gets the Lexington there. So, I mean, this guy in chat pretty much sums up my my thoughts on this. Fun to watch 2 CVs versus 2 CVs. Because, I mean, really, this came down to the CVs. We just won the RNG roll, and we got the Chikolov and the Kaga. Again, 2 of the strongest Tier 8 CVs, and I mean, for the Kaga and the Chikolov, they are 2 of the most busted ships in game in general. I mean, the Chikolov, I mean, Russian CV, right? You get the skip bombers, you get the rocket assisted launch, so you can get the good rotation with the good placement of your ship. If you look at the Chikolov, he's taking a pretty aggressive stance. He's, you know, halfway up on the map. Most CVs like to hide in the back, so he's got good plane rotation going for him there. And the Kaga, again, it just doesn't run out of planes. It's regenerating its hangar size. Lets it do that, and they got a decent CV with the Lexington, and then one of the worst Tier 8 CVs with the Implacable. The only thing that would have made this better for our team is if they had a Grass Zeppelin and an Implacable instead of a Lexington and an Implacable. I mean, you saw at the beginning the CVs agreed to go after the Lexington first because it's the only real threat, really. The Implacable, like, don't get me wrong, I like the ideas that they messed with the Implacable, but it's just not a good CV compared to what we have in the game. So yeah, this just came down to us winning the RNG roll with what CVs we're going to get on our side, and that's about it. I mean, really, I didn't do much in this match. The other surface ships, you know, they did get a couple of kills here and there, but I promise you, if the series had been reversed, this would have gone the other direction as well. So yeah, just want to share this match with you guys, and just show off some of the wonkiness that can happen with matchmakers still. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, well, not don't get me wrong, but I know there's gonna be a lot of players saying, oh look, you know, the player base is dying, this is why they had to do this. Not really. There were 6,000 people online when I played this match, which is pretty surprising. I checked the port screen right after this, and that's about normal for the North American server. The North American server, it'll peak like, you know, I think it's around like 6-7 o'clock at night is when it peaks, around 12-ish to 14-ish thousand players on. So 6,000 players being on right now is pretty normal for the North American server. It's just a bit of wonky matchmaking because, again, it does happen from time to time. So guys, just want to share this match with you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 45,000 subscribers. Thanks to the Odin armor, I managed to survive that. Again, man, such a low HP battleship, but I do love this ship. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.